In the name of my ancestors. Peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. Excuse me. Of course, I am the gatekeeper or the host of this particular program, known here on the internet as the mighty Angel Snub 7. I'm your brother, and hopefully your friend, Taalik Ibn'rad. Woo! I know a lot of folks gonna get angry at me. A lot of folks gonna get upset, and of course you're gonna call me crazy and insane. He's crazy and insane. Well, I guess I have to be that. And what I am also about to say might seem strange coming from a male. Wow. Of course, this is not going to happen because people are weak-minded. And they also have been indoctrinated by a poison, and their bodies have grown used to the poison. In fact, they don't even believe they have been poisoned in the mind and sometimes in the body. But there's no worse of a poison if someone is able to poison your mind. This message goes to not only black women, but women all over this planet. And I know that you will agree with me. And if it could be done, things would change almost overnight. Because this male who claims he is so strong, is not as strong as he claims to be. The only reason why he is able to do what he does in the world, and especially what he does to womanhood, is because y'all allow that. Just like black folks in this country, we allow racism because we won't take the appropriate actions, the appropriate steps to get rid of it. It can stay in this country, but we don't have to live with it. There's a saying, and y'all can put it in the comments actually how this quote is said. But I remember a quote saying, drastic times calls for drastic measures. And I want to ask the women, the females, listening to this video, here and around this earth, share this video. I know you're not going to act on it, but share it. Just put the word out there because it's nice to think about. Drastic times calls for drastic measures. Don't you really want equality with males? Don't you really want that? Do you know how that you can really get that? And stop fighting the glass ceiling and all this other foolishness that males put in your way? If you really want equality, the only thing the woman has to do is stop having sex with these men. It's as simple as that. Well, brother, if we stop having sex with these men, then they'll rape us. Well, they are already raping you. They're already prostituting you out. They're already doing evil to you. What do you have to lose? In the Muslim world, you have Muslim females and women in other religious sects. They cover their bodies and they try to be respectful and they submit to these corrupt men. But yet and still, with all your submission, we can't even see your face because you got it all covered up. Can't see your body. You look like a Kroger bag or something. You're doing all this because the man can't control himself. He don't have to dress up like a Kroger bag. But the woman, you got to dress up like a Kroger bag because this man that claims that he's so strong, if he see your breast, he'll go crazy. If he see your leg, if he see your lip, he'll go crazy. He can't think because your body is calling. Your body's calling for me. He is that weak that he can't be around a set of breasts. And he can't function because he can't look at a pair of legs. He can't function. But the woman is the weak sex. You are the weak gender. And you can watch men play basketball with their shirts off and run around half naked. Women don't have no problem. And you're supposed to be the weakest link. You're supposed to be the weak gender. How is that possible? And these guys are supposed to be so strong. And you can't handle looking at a breast in your face and can't function. It throws you off. You can't do your job because somebody's booty in your face. Oh, and you so strong. Come on now. So you have many women, they cover themselves up all over this planet. And you submit. You don't fight. You submit to these men. And you still are raped. You still are beaten. You are still, in some circumstance, some of y'all are even murdered by these men. And you want to lay down and have babies and have for these nutcases, these insane people? Come on now. You don't have nothing to lose. You want to continue to be raped. You want to continue to be called hoes and bitches and all these other stuff of degradation that these males put on you as a female, as women. In America, not only that, but you have this glass ceiling. So you only can go so high. And then, of course, they have some token women. They are allowed to go past the ceiling to give you the illusion like things is getting better. But when it's all said and done, you still a whore, you still a bitch, and so forth. In fact, you have grown to call yourself a whore and a bitch and a slut. Girl, I'm a good hoe. I'm the baddest bee. Again, this is another situation where the victim blames themselves for their condition. And now they have taken on, they begin to abuse themselves. The abuser don't have to call them whore, bitch, or even nigger. Now we call ourselves nigger, black people. Women call themselves sluts and whores and bitches. And you say it with pride. And you learn it from who? You learn it from your abuser. You learn it from your exploiter. You learn it from these corrupt, wicked, and in religion they say unrighteous demons. So you will be changing your condition overnight. If you will stop sleeping with these fools, I don't care how nice they are. Because if the men really was upset with inequality for women and really wanted to see you equal, then they'll stand up for you. How many of them are doing that? They're not doing that. And the reason why they're not doing that, because they like the feeling of being supreme over you. There is no real equality in the household. They like it. Women need to stop sleeping with men. Let them sleep with themselves. You need to concentrate on your own gender. Strengthen your own gender. There are women out there who are in bad shape. Get the prostitutes off the street. Help other women. Get them out of the stripper club. Get your female gender out of the strip clubs and the prostitution and all these other places that entertain these bums, these so-called men. They are not men. They are demons. They are devils. How can another human being treat another human being the way they do simply because you have a vagina. So there is hatred for the vagina. And you should question any man who hates the vagina. Let them sleep with themselves. In fact, many of them, and y'all know it, many of them are sleeping with themselves. Some of them are doing it undercover. They're doing it in the closet. But they have began to sleep with themselves. The only thing they need you for is to have babies. Stop having babies for these things. You don't have equality. I don't care what religion, I don't care where you are on this planet. There is no real equality with the man on this planet. Equality, for a very simple example, is we have two apples. I have an apple, you have an apple. Our apples are exactly the same. However, if my apple is 2 times bigger than your apple, that is not equality. Then you need to cut that apple down some and try to make it equal. They're not going to cut nothing down. Because these men, I don't call them men, I call them the males. Because real men don't do this. A real man wants to see you as another human being reach your highest potential. A real man does not see you as some subservient. Submit to me. Submit to you for what? We submit to each other. I help you, you help me. The woman is weaker, so since I'm stronger, I should take up the role of protector. I have the more strength. Physically, the man was made put in a better position for that. But we're still equals, but we know our roles. But let us not be inferior. Stop sleeping. It's simple. Stop sleeping with these fools. How can you say that, brother? Including me too. It don't make no difference. Then I can guarantee you, you'll begin to get real equality. I am telling black people in this country, drastic times calls for drastic measures. Ain't you sick of being treated the way we've been treated in this country? But if you tell these racists who keep telling you you ain't nothing, and you seriously take an action to separate from them, I can guarantee you they will change, because we give, oh wow, ooh, don't you know, black man and woman of America, we give this nation soul. If black people, and also competence, we also give them compassion. These people don't have no compassion. They don't have no soul. We give all that to them. They don't have no mercy. They don't have no life. That's why they don't like you. Because even when we are suffering, the black man and woman in America, even though we catch hell, we can always smile. Always dance, always sing. I remember just a few years ago, during the Great Flood of '93 in the St. Louis metropolitan area, you had Caucasian people. They was crying because their houses got flooded out. And in East St. Louis, which is primarily a black population, they was not crying. They took doors down and was playing in the water and smiling and said, oh, well, I'll be glad when it dry out. That's the difference. There's a difference between man and woman. You're not like that man, woman. He's a hell raiser. You bring peace. You're a nurturer. You filled with this type of love. He's a destroyer. His history shows that. Stop having sex with a demon. And when you do that, you begin to bring out real manhood. But at this time, as long as you give them what they want for nothing, then you'll continue to be exploited. You continue to be their slave. Jot down your comments. Let's talk about it. This is your brother, Angel Snuck Up 7. I am the most powerful voice on YouTube. This was and is the Realist Temple on Earth.